What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. We are back, y'all. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 1. And let me tell you, these ladies was giving up some stuff this first episode. So let's go on and get into the, okay? We start this episode off. We have Kenya practicing with Brandon. We know Kenya was on Dancing with the Stars, and that is her partner. She came back. She said she was in California filming, but she came back to Atlanta probably to start filming for Dancing with the Stars. And honey, we see that there might be a little flirt going on between Kenya and Brandon. Later on in the episode, Brandon is at her house while she cooking breakfast and stuff. I'm like, is Brandon staying there? Is Brandon staying at Casa de Moore or something? What is going on with Brandon? But we're gonna get back to that. So then we see Candy come in. Next we see Marlo, who we know Marlo has a full peach this season, honey. And Marlo came. Marlo, listen, we're gonna get to Miss Marlo, but Marlo was coming with it. And the ladies get together, you know they gotta do the, hey girl, how you doing? Oh, it's been so long. Hey, good to see you. Welcome. And Marlo trying to act brand new in her confessional, like she new to the show. Producer was like, girl, stop. We know you. You ain't gotta do all of that. You gotta do all of that. Okay. But we are good. We are happy to see that Marlo and Kenya are in a good space, at least for today. Cause doesn't seem like it stays that way, but we know that they have had their battles in the past, honey. But for today, they good, okay? And then eventually Miss Sheba Sheree comes through, right? And of course, this is not her first time, but her second return to the show. I ain't mad at you, Sheree, with your summer winter joggers, okay? Anyway, so Marlo was talking about her edges. We know that Marlo had this whole procedure to get her edges put back in, I guess a hair transplant. And remember, she had swole up, and she went down to the social media to show everybody how her face had swollen up with the procedure. But she said that her edges are better. She showed us that her edges are better. So listen, I'm here for it, baby. I like it. You like it, I love it. We find out that she is going to have an event for her. Remember last season, she was opening up like basically it was a place where you could rent her clothes. Now, I thought the way she explained it this season makes a whole lot more sense than the way she explained it last season. And I don't know if she's evolved the concept, or if she changed it, or if she just didn't do a good job the first time. But the first time around, she was saying like that that people could come and rent her clothes. And I was like, so just everyday people could come in and rent Marlo's outfits, and then they get steam cleaned, and like, what? That didn't make sense. But the way she explained it now is that she wants to work with stylists, celebrity stylists, to rent her items out for productions, for events. And again, the way she explained how she makes money is she gets 25% of the value of the garment, or the retail value of the garment. So if it's a Chanel bag that's worth $10,000, I'm just throwing it out there, y'all, $10,000, then she would get 25% of that $10,000 per day, and the maximum amount of days is 7, I think she said. So I see how she making money, and of course the big thing with that is being able to connect to the right people. Now, she said she already worked with Tammy Roman on a new project she has coming up. Now, y'all know Tammy got a whole show that she's working on. I think it's going to be on VH1. It's sort of like a cheetah situation, but that's another comment for another day. So I feel like maybe that's the outfit. That's what she's talking about. So it does look like she has some celebrity clients. So she was explaining to the ladies, all this stuff, and that she was having an event that I guess was an official launch of it or something. I don't know, child. So then Sheree comes through, and she talking about that, she is with her boo thing. He is out of jail and he is home, but she abstinent. Sheree boo, girl, the last thing you probably need to do is hold off on sex with a man that's been locked up for 10 years. probably not a good idea, bro. She said she just want to make sure it's real because, you know, people say a lot of things in jail and she want to make sure it's real. I think you want to wait for other reasons. I'm just saying. Anyway, but the ladies look like they getting along. You know, it ain't going to last long, but it was cool to see the Kikis and the Kakas and everybody, you know, laughing and happy to see each other. Again, it ain't going to last long. So next we see Drew, and we see our newest addition to the cast this season, Sonya Ross. And she is an award of 4-time gold medalist. She said she won a bronze, but she don't talk about the bronze, baby. She won 4 gold medals. She's still, I think her record still stands as the fastest American in her particular event. I don't know if it's at the Olympics or just in general, but either way, baby's fast. Okay, she been married to her husband, former Giants player. They've been together for 20 years, and I think they've been married like 16, something like that. But this one I want to remind people. People may or may not know this. A lot of people might think she's a newbie, but she's really not. She had her own reality show years ago. I think her husband was still playing professional football, and it was right after one of her Olympics. I think it was either before she had her child or while she was pregnant. But she had a reality show for, I think it only lasted like maybe 2 years. But so she's not new to the reality TV genre. She's not new to cameras and chronicling her life. That's not new to her now. Being on this franchise obviously is a different beast, but she kind of you know, she not a rookie to this. So she's on the show now. We found out that she just recently moved to Atlanta permanently. I think she said within the last year, and they still trying to get the house set up. Her parents are living with her. She has 1 child, but her husband wants another one, and I think that's gonna be part of their storyline because she said that worries her because when she had her son, the husband sort of checked out. She felt like she was alone, sort of a single parent. She said, and that really almost broke their marriage, and so she doesn't really want to go down that road again because that's a very scary thought for her. That, you know, but he wants a baby girl. He wants a baby girl. So anyway, they go to the gym together. So it's Drew and Ralph, and it's Sonya and Ross. They're going to the gym together now. Drew has signed up to be the spokesperson for this company called Drop It with Drew. Now, she made it seem like they approached her to be the spokesperson, but it sounds like she's very hands-on, so I'm wondering if it's her company. I don't know. But all I know is that her and Ralph was in the gym, and they was getting smoked by Sonya and Ross. Now, I'm going to say this for the record. Listen, these are professional athletes. These are people who professionally this is what they do for a living. So I ain't gonna say that they should feel bad that they, you know, got smoked in the gym by people who do this every day, all day, and they got paid to be in shape. Like, they got paid to do this, right? Anyway, let me put a pin in that real quick. Kenya gave us an update on the divorce. She said, listen, he just won't sign the paper. She said she is over it. She is done. She is ready to move on with her life. But, you know, of course, we know that Mark is dragging his feet for other, you know, for reasons. Okay? So, then we have a scene with Marlo and her nephews. We know that Marlo is raising her nephews because her sister is incarcerated. Now, it seems like, because I know when her nephews first came to live with her, she said her sister just wasn't in a space to take care of them, and it was only supposed to be temporary. But it ended up, she said it's been about 3 years now. And she said, you know, when my nephews came to me, you know, they was eating, you know, frozen pizzas and oodles of noodles, and now they're with me, and you know, they driving Rolls Royces, and you know, they living a good life. And she said, you know, wearing Yeezys and stuff, and she said, I don't want them to forget their humble beginnings. Like, I don't want to, basically she's like, I'm worried about spoiling them too much, but I want them to have a good life, which you should want them to have a good life. But it's definitely it's definitely a tightrope. You know, it's definitely a tightrope there. Child, I always be forgetting stuff. When they was at the gym, child, Rob was trying to brag that he played football for at Rutgers. Come to find out he was on the football team. Baby, you never saw no action. You never came off the bench. Did you even come in your uniform, or did they just tell you to hold the clipboard? Anyway, now I ain't gonna take nothing away from you, bro. I ain't gonna take nothing away. You did make the team, okay? Some people can't say they did that, okay? So we see everybody getting these invitations to Marlo's event, right? Marlo we see Marlo is having her event at this beautiful ballroom space, and she wants the best of the best. She wants it to be like a showroom in a couture house in France, honey. So she has this woman in this really nice dress with the invitation is pre-recorded on a laptop. So when the person answers the door, she plays the video of Marlo. I'm sure that sounded good in Marlo's head. But you know, of all the people, the person that had to shade for her was Kenya, basically telling her, "Girl, try harder next time, okay? Try harder next time." Anyway, but of course, it's the first event of the season, honey. All of them gonna be at the daggone event, child. So then we have Drew invite Sonya and Candy over to her house to taste test these pre-cooked meals. That's part of her Drop It With Drew program. And so she has them come in. They got to take a little healthy shot. And then they're getting ready to eat some of these pre-packaged meals. Now, Drew, you know, she is bragging on these meals. She said, "Baby, I followed this program and I dropped 25 pounds. And I think she said like 10 days. First of all, that's not healthy. It's not healthy to drop that much weight in that short period of a time. Take it from somebody who's been on a lot of diets. And clearly, okay, that's just not healthy. But neither here nor there. We meet Drew's assistant, Anthony. And I'm just going to say for the record, Anthony, you was doing too much. You was trying to get your screen time. And I don't know, I'm side-eyeing you right now, okay? He was doing a whole lot. But they get in there, and again, I'm a little confused again, Drew. If you've already been doing this program and it's been working for you, why are you taste testing the meals? Are these new recipes that you're going to infuse and mix in what you already have? I'm confused. Drew let us know that she had to have a hysterectomy, and while she was there, she had a mommy makeover, which, you know, took care of some of the stuff that, you know, Kenya was kind of she said body shaming her last season. I don't think it was body shaming as much as it was just a dig at your weight. Everything ain't body shaming. Sometimes it's just, everything ain't everything. Dang, we got to put a label on everything. Kenya was just reading your ass, okay? Because she ain't like you, and y'all was in the middle of going back and forth. But neither here nor there. So, the meals seemed good. Candy and Sonya both said the meals were good, and I feel like both of them would have been like, girl. But what we really found out is that Mr. Ralph is up to his old tricks, okay? Ralph is up to his old tricks. Now, at the gym, Drew had talked to Sonya about Ralph and his new assistant. Now, come to find out, Ralph got this new assistant that is offering him massages and stuff. And Ralph act like he don't want to fire her. He act like he don't understand why that's inappropriate. And then he had a nerve to tell Drew, "If I have to make a choice between you or my dreams, I'm choosing my dreams." Bro, what? First of all, I should be a part of your dreams. So it shouldn't be no choice because I should be the dream. Let's start there. Me and your children, the dream. But for you to be like, "Well, if I have to choose between you or my dreams, it's going to be my dreams." Wait, what? So Sonya, in front of Candy, again, I know it's a TV show, but let's pretend for a minute it's not. If I told you that, and it was just me and you talking, and you don't know whether I looped Candy in, then that's not something you bring up in front of somebody that you don't know. So you and Candy, y'all have people in common. Like I think Candy said they got the same hairdresser, so y'all know some of the same people, but y'all ain't friends like that. I told you something about my marriage, something about my husband. Don't be repeating it and ask questions about it in front of Candy, because I may not want Candy to know. Just so happened that Drew was okay with it, because again, we filming a show. And here come Ralph. He listening to them overhearing, so he coming in there to plead his case. And he talking about some, It wasn't a big deal. I was having back problems, and I told her to schedule me a massage, and she was like, "Well, I could do that for you." And Candy was like, "Okay, but you know what? But what did you say?" Did y'all notice that he never answered that question? He never answered the question of what he said. He never responded to about what he said. Because here's the thing: people can say what they want to say, but what was your response to what she said? And then you act like you didn't want to fire her. And to hear him tell the story, he didn't fire her and he still talks to her. And we know that he still talks to her. You know how we know that he still talks to her? Because later on in the episode, Candy Detective ass then found this girl on Instagram, and around the same time that they had this conversation in her kitchen, the woman posted on her Instagram, if I wanted it, I could have it. So don't be worrying about if I want it or not, because it would be mine if I did. I'm paraphrasing, but that was pretty much what it said, which I feel like was a direct message to Drew. How would she know that a conversation was had about her and what she said to him if he ain't tell her? Ralph is on that. See, Ralph on that same bullshit. Okay. So anyway, it's the night of the party, and we're all getting ready for the party, honey. We got the mannequins up with all the different couture, all the different outfits and glamour. And the event is nice. You know, Marlo told everybody to show up in their best after 5 attire. So most of the ladies showed up. They bought it. I wasn't impressed with what Candy had on. Candy just put on a little white jumper, honey. It might have been expensive, but it didn't look real after 5 to me. It looked cocktail hour to me, Candy. I'm gonna need you to give me something different. But other than that, the ladies did look nice. They had on gowns and all that other stuff. Marlo was Marlo. She was damn near 2 hours late, and then she had the nerve to come out for 10 minutes, go back in and change and do a costume change or an outfit change. You know, listen, can we agree that being that late for your own event is played? Can we agree to that? Like, fashionably late, making an entrance, I'm fine with, but 2 hours, bro. The event started at 7 and it was after 8:30 before Marlo made an appearance. That's not cute. You got people out there waiting. And so what ended up happening was people were confused. People were like, well, what is this? Is this a fashion show? Like, are we getting ready for a runway? Is this going to be a situation where are there going to be models modeling the stuff? Now, who was it? Was it Kenya? Child, I don't know who said it. Somebody brought up a good point and said there should be a catalog. And I think that would have been great. I like what Marlo had going. She had hors d'oeuvres. She had an open bar. Nobody had to pay. It was an open bar. She had the mannequins with certain outfits. She had very high-end pieces, right? She had some who's who of Atlanta. She had designers. And this was probably the event where they started the rumor about Angela Simmons and Light Skin Keisha joining the cast, because Light Skin Keisha was there and so was Angela Simmons was at this particular event. And there were a lot of who's who designers of not just Atlanta, but just, stylists and designers and stuff like that. So it definitely was a A-list crowd. We're gonna say that as far as designing and fashion. It was an A-list crowd. But the problem was, nobody understood what the hell it was. I mean, when I say nobody, on the cast. First of all, your thing is called La Archive, and you spelled it wrong. Now, like Sonya said, maybe you couldn't get the trademark for the actual La Archive, which, French for archive is supposed to be L apostrophe, not L-E apostrophe. But if you don't have the actual, then come up with a different name. But okay, girl. Okay, I know you want to try to give a little French flair to this, a little ding flair to the situation. That's cool. So again, everybody is sort of questioning what's going on here. Like, what is this supposed to be? But I like the idea of a catalog, because then you can see everything that's in the showroom. Then you can look through it and you can pick the pieces out. Like, I thought that, especially for the stylists, people that were in the room, like, you take that catalog, you stick it under your arm, boom, you have it as a quick reference when it's time for you to start doing some stuff and pulling pieces. That I thought was a great idea. But anyway, Drew is trying to be cool with everybody. She even went up to Kenya and was like, can we just fresh, clean slate. Can we making this a clean slate? And Kenya was like, listen, child, I done made up with Marlo. I can be cool with you. It won't that deep, okay? Again, don't think that's gonna last long, but we got it. So Marlo finally comes out, and she comes around and she speaks to everyone, and she was saying them that the only people that like, this is only for like people in the industry. This isn't for just anybody off the street. It's for people in the industry. So Drew was like, oh, so like I could come, and she was like, girl, when was your last gig? I don't know. Are you still in the industry? And she laughed it off like it was a joke, but girl, she meant it. And the reason why I know she meant it is because she was shading Drew the whole night. The whole night. So Marlo goes in and does a quick change, and she comes back out. And when she comes back out, messy ass Sheree and messy Sonya, they done went up to Marlo and told Marlo that the girls was confused. And the girls wanted to know why there weren't any models. And the girls wanted to know, and I said, what? Huh? Because all y'all was in that conversation. But we know what Sheree gives. Let's be clear. Sheree is the bone carrier. We know what she gives. But Sonya, are you her apprentice? So, of course, Marlo goes back over to the crowd and proceeds to start reading everybody. But she's directing it at Kenya. And Candy even said, listen, all of us had questions, okay? I had questions. I didn't understand how it worked, what was going on. And Kenya was like, why are you coming for me? Like, I wasn't the only one that said something, girl. Why you bring all that venom at me? And she was cussing and stuff. And Kenya was like, why are you cussing at me? Like, why? You don't need to cuss at me, girl. Why are you cussing? Like, what is going on here? And so then her and Drew get into it. And Drew was like, girl, where's all this coming from? Like, we all had questions. We all didn't understand. That's it. That's all. Like, we was just trying to figure it out. We didn't know if it was going to be a fact. Like, and she was like, well, y'all with this new money, I wouldn't expect y'all to understand. If you go to a fashion house, this is what it is. Okay, this is what you see. So I know that y'all wouldn't understand. So then she proceeds to go and give her little speech, her little welcome address to everybody. And she tells this story about the first time she bought a designer dress and how she had to put it on her credit card and child. And they would just sit there like, girl, what? Child, what? But she, again, her and Drew get into it, and her and Kenya then got into it, and now Kenya is like, oh, so Sonya and Sheree, because Sonya said, listen, I was the one that said it. I said it because, and she was trying to give an explanation, which there is no explanation, because you ain't had no reason to go over there doing all that. Like, there wasn't no need for all that. Sonya, I like you, girl, and I want to like you, but boo, dang, honey, you was messy. And you created a whole situation that was so unnecessary. Anyway, baby, that was pretty much the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. And don't forget to join me on Scotty by Nature's channel Tuesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to talk about all of this, okay? I'll see y'all later. Peace.